everyone. For our technology presentation, Rahema and I will be looking at Streamlit, which is a web app that we've been using for our senior capstone project. In this presentation, we will look at Streamlit, the history of Streamlit, installation and deployment of Streamlit, Streamlit data sources. We'll look at the demo, and we'll also look at the pros and cons of Streamlit, alternatives to Streamlit, and Streamlit indispensability. So what is Streamlit? Some sources will tell you Streamlit is a library. Some sources will tell you Streamlit is an open source app framework for Python language. So it offers a way for you to actually run your Python script. And it is one of the fastest ways to build and deploy an app. And you do not actually need any back or front-end experience to actually use Streamlit, because you're not going to be using C#, JavaScript, HTML, because Streamlit is actually based on Python. That's why it's important to actually have to actually understand how Python runs. So how did Streamlit come about? Who are the people behind Streamlit? Streamlit was actually founded in 2018, which is very recent, by Adrian, Tiago, and Amanda. They were very frustrated by the lack of tools that would be used for a data-driven website. So they wanted to create a tool that would actually make it easy, most especially for data scientists to actually create websites in a very easy and fun way. So they launched Streamlit in 2019. And over these years, a lot of companies have actually integrated Streamlit into their system. Some of these companies are Spotify, NASA, Uber, and also the World Health Organization. And again, over this time, they have also attracted a good number of over 10 million app views and over 20,000 GitHub stars.
I'm Rahema, partner of Rebecca. Today, I will be talking about the installation and the deployment of the Streamlit. So, there are certain ways you can include like a Streamlit in your projects. Of course, a Streamlit is a library, and you need to know Python and how to code Python properly if you want to code in a Streamlit as well. Other than that, if you want a Streamlit, you can just go online to the Streamlit website and download a Streamlit. So, certain ways to connect through Streamlit, you can use the command line. Other than that, you can also use the Anaconda distribution. Moreover, you can also connect your Streamlit to the GitHub code spaces. In my experience, it is one of the easiest way to use a Streamlit. You just have to go to the GitHub, connect the Streamlit to it, and when you start coding, you just import a Streamlit as SD. However, if you want to download the Streamlit into your computer, then you would have to go to your Python terminal and then write pip install Streamlit, and that's how Streamlit is going to be downloaded. Other than that, it's really important for Streamlit to be running in an environment. So you have to create an environment before you start the Streamlit. However, you can also go to your Python and then you can modify it, and Python can create a library. And then when you come to your terminal, you can write certain kind of like commands like vemp and venv, and that's how the environment could be included. Furthermore, where is the Streamlit actually deployed? So the simple answer is the Streamlit deployment occurs on the Streamlit cloud. So moving forward, of course, let's talk about the Streamlit data sources. So Streamlit is the kind of package that cannot really store the local data. In order to store data in the Streamlit for the long term, we have to come up certain other ways and certain other solutions. So those solutions are mostly AWS, BigQuery, PostgreSQL, Google Cloud Storage, or Microsoft SQL Server. So if you have to evaluate your project and see how much data are you going to be working with. If you're working with a lot of data, then I would really recommend you to use like PostgreSQL. But if you're working with like a small data, then you can use the SQLite. Other than that, if you don't want to use like databases, you can also create the adjacent files. So like you just need to know like the Python coding of files in order to create those files, and you can connect it to like the private Google Sheet and public Google Sheet. You can also connect Streamlit to the Excel file if you want. But if you're connecting it to SQLite, then you just need to know how to make that connection and download SQLite. Moving forward, now we are going to show you a demo of the demo of the Streamlit. So now we are going to show you a certain demo for our Streamlit website. First of all, I'm gonna click this link and it's gonna generate my code spaces. After we have gone to our code spaces, as you can see, there's a demo over here. I'm just going to cut this out so you can see the demo clearly. As you can see, first of all, I'm going to run you through my code. First of all, you can see there's import Streamlit as ST, and then there is our pandas and numpy libraries. Moreover, we also have plotly.express, so we can include scatters and bar graphs and all those like other line graphs. So if we keep moving on, first of all, for generating sample data, we have used some Streamlit features that random.seed. It's just generate the same random numbers over and over. And other than that, we have also created some plots, as you can see, X, Y, size, color. Moreover, if I keep going down, you can see that there is our Streamlit app. So we have created the main function. Other than that, we have used the Streamlit title feature for the title. Then there's the write feature, which is also for just headings. As I keep going on, this is basically like scatter plot customization is for like creating boxes. So you can choose, you can have a drop down menu and you can choose whichever you want from there. So this is the x-axis, the y-axis, and the size color. However, this is a very basic website, so we don't have many options in there. We don't have options in there at all, but you can always customize them and code them. As I keep going down, we of course need the px.scatter to show how the like bar graph or scatter graph is going to come out. Again, you can see our Python coding over there, and then show some statistics. So we have just included in order to show you that some more features that you can show the mean, the median, the maximum, and the minimum of I. However, if this is your website, you can code it however you want to code it. So now if you can see, I'm gonna run it. When I run it, it's not gonna run on its own. However, I have to write some commands in order for this to run. So I'm gonna write Streamlit dot, not dot, just space run, then the name of my file demo.py. However, this is just gonna open my file. It's not going to open my file in a browser, and we need to see the browser to see how our website is working. So for that, I'm going to use -- server dot headless and false. This is just saying that every time we run the website, the browser needs to open, and enter. Of course, it's gonna take its time. There is our website. So again, this is a very basic website. Like I said, in the title, it shows the demo, it shows the heading, Streamlit demo scatter plot, their sample data. If you want, you can always like change this data and like continue it to like other ones. There's like XY plot, size, and color, whichever you want. Like I said, we can also customize some like drop down menus. So there it is, but our drop down menus just say X, Y, and size and color right now because we haven't coded like more features into it. Moreover, there is a scatter plot of the information we have just like put in. If you go here, let me show you some changes. If you like click this, you can see our scatter plot has changed.
and now it shows the X on the x-axis and the Y on the y-axis. Let's see what color does if I choose color. It has also changed the color and some of the points. Another than that, like I said, there are the statistics, so mean of y, median of y, maximum of y, and minimum of y. You can showcase which information you want.
Look at the pros and the cons of Streamlit. Like mentioned before, or as seen from the demo, using Streamlit is actually easy. You can easily install it with just pip install, and you can run your code just by saying Streamlit run, then the name of your file. And you can easily customize Streamlit with a lot. It offers a lot of elements that you can use, such as the wages, the containers, and all that. For more information on that, you can check out their website and learn more about that. And you do not need any back or front end experience for you to use Streamlit. Like mentioned before, Streamlit is actually Python. And it's easy to deploy. You can go on their website and you'll see a step-by-step process on actually how you can deploy your app using Streamlit Cloud. So some of the cons of Streamlit is that when you change the state of the UI, for example, a user input, then the whole program has to rerun. So because Streamlit runs from top to bottom, so when it reruns, it may create some delays for it to show you the results. And it has some data limitations when you're using with Snowflakes, because it has a certain limitations on the amount of data it can pull out on a single query. So that is something that you have to consider when using Streamlit with Snowflakes. And when you're trying to run multiple pages, you would have to actually use SQL commands. And each page does not have a single URL to support it. So one thing that you have to note that some of these pros and the cons that we have here may not be up to date, because Streamlit continuously creates update on its system, and it also creates some improvements to its system, so some of these may not actually apply to date. So you'd have to do a little bit of more research to actually see if these capabilities are still there or if they have been improved upon. Now we'll look at the alternatives to Streamlit. So they have Dash there, which is like an API documentation that you can use. It's like a code snippet, so you can snip some codes. And actually we also have Jupyter, which is like a web-based platform where you can create interactive dashboards, equations, and all those things. And we have Flask, which is they call it a micro Python framework, because it doesn't really incorporate a lot of libraries, and it does not even have a lot of tools. So it's one way that you can create something simple and actually add on to it. And we have Shiny. Shiny is actually a R programming package. If you know about R, you probably would know about R if you've taken a class with Dr. Lecce, which is CS205. And R actually provides you a platform for you to create a web app that does not even require a lot of like HTML, CSS, and all that. So it's very easy to use, and it's mostly provides you with an alternative to actually create a data-driven website, which is so good. And we have Bokeh too, and
we're going to talk about why Streamlit is becoming indispensable. One of the main reasons is the job market demand. So as you can see, the demand in data scientist roles or data-driven roles or web developmental roles are increasing every single day. Streamlit is a really easy feature to learn in order to use like data and moderate the data and compare it to each other. So that's why Streamlit is becoming a requirement if you want to apply to like certain companies. Other than that, community growth. If you go to the Streamlit and check how many apps they have on their Streamlit community cloud, you will see that there are 5,000 LLM technologies or apps that have been generated in the Streamlit community cloud over the past few years. And those numbers are rising every single day. If you have any questions, please let us know.